Hello everyone, welcome to Live ABC. I am Mike.
I'm Rainbow.
And Ed Sheeran is here again today. Well, he's not here. We're going to be talking about him. His article is here, and you guys are too. Now, you said yesterday that you got to see Avril Lavigne here in Taipei when you were little. Did you go to the Ed Sheeran concert?
No.
Oh, no, I missed that too. I had some friends who went. I guess I was busy that night. I did see Bruno Mars when he came here not too long ago. So that was kind of exciting, but Ed Sheeran would have been fun too.
Yeah, because you know all of his songs because they're playing all the time.
Even if you don't listen to his songs on the radio or on the internet, if you walk into a 7-Eleven, you can hear his songs on the radio.
Even if you don't know it's Ed Sheeran.
All over the place. And so we're going to be reading today about how he has some new music coming out, which is fantastic news for his fans or really anyone who likes good pop music, because that's what Ed Sheeran does. He also writes a lot of songs for other performers.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. I can't even start to think of some of them. I think Dua Lipa, you know?
Yeah,
I'm not sure, but if you read the the small writing under the name of the song, you might see his name out there a lot more than you would expect. But he's out with some new music very soon by himself, and for the fans. So maybe you'll have a chance to see Ed when he comes back the next time.
Maybe.
We hope he does. And we hope you guys join us for our article because it starts now.
Sheeran's long break allowed him and his wife to prepare for the arrival of their first child, Lyra, who was born in August 2020. Sheeran welcomed fatherhood as well as the time off from performing, as he felt that constant touring had harmed his physical and mental health. Indeed, his latest single, Bad Habits, speaks to the unhealthy lifestyle he led while on tour. The song is about the positive changes that Sheeran has made in his life since the birth of his daughter, including eating healthier foods and exercising more regularly.
All right, so let's read more about Ed Sheeran and what he's been doing since his big Divide tour ended a couple of years ago. Well, the article in Ed Sheeran, The View from the Top for today, begins Sheeran's long break allowed him and his wife to prepare for the arrival of their first child, Lyra, who was born in August 2020. Isn't that lovely? So he got married right around the end of the tour, I think. This lady he married, apparently he's known her since high school.
Wow.
Or something like that. Yeah, they've been boyfriend and girlfriend and known each other for a very long time.
Sweet.
And 2 or now 3 because their daughter Lyra was born back last year in August of 2020, right in the middle of a pandemic.
I know.
Wow.
And she's only 1 now.
I guess so. But I guess being at home because of the pandemic is kind of good, right? It gives him time to be with his daughter and change diapers and have all those
watch her grow up.
Those fun things happen. Anyway, Sheeran welcomed fatherhood as well as the time off from performing, as he felt that constant touring had harmed his physical and mental health. Well, sure, we talked about being on tour. It can be fun, and of course, musicians can perform in front of all their fans who have a great time, but it can be very tiring. You're traveling, you're singing, you're away from home, you're away from your friends and loved ones and your normal life. So all of this constant performing was really having a bit of a bad effect on him.
And when you're constantly doing something, it means you're doing it all the time without stopping. So if you're touring constantly, that's every single day for 2 years. If you say somebody's constantly upset, that means every time you meet them, they're in a bad mood. Anything that's constant can be very tiring, even if it's great. Like constantly seeing your boyfriend, you might be like, okay, now I need my own space. So that's something that's all the time and all the time. So we have an example sentence here. Jesse's daughter needs constant attention. So here, when somebody needs constant attention, that means that Jesse's daughter is always like, Mommy, talk to me, look at me, talk to me, screaming or yelling or crying crying when Jessie's trying to put down her daughter. So that can be really, really tiring when anything's constant, especially if somebody needs constant attention.
And this constant touring, doing all of these shows, all these performances, and all the traveling, it was definitely harming his health and his happiness. When we harm something, using it here as a verb, we're doing damage to something. We're hurting something, probably over a longer period of time. A doctor might say that smoking will harm your health, and they're absolutely right. They also might say that eating junk food all the time will harm your health. They could also say it will damage your health or hurt your health. It's the same kind of idea. And if you look at your phone all the time, you might harm your eyes. You might have to wear glasses after a while because looking at the bright light of your phone might hurt or damage your eyes. It might harm your eyes. For example, those chemicals have been proven to harm the environment. Yeah, we could say hurt, damage, or harm. They do bad things or have a bad effect on the environment.
Yes. Okay, so we have the next sentence, which talks about Ed's new album or his new single. It says, indeed, his latest single, Bad Habits, speaks to the unhealthy lifestyle he led while on tour. Okay, so he was going on tour and he was writing about his tour and writing about how his life, wasn't really great because maybe he was just under too much pressure. Everybody expected him to keep doing it and maybe he wasn't that happy to keep doing what other people wanted. The song is about the positive changes that Sharon has made in his life since the birth of his daughter, including eating healthier foods and exercising more regularly. So I do know that a lot of people change their habits after having kids because they feel like there's another reason for them to live longer. It's so that they can see their children grow up. So I think that's really good for Ed Sheeran.
Absolutely. And he's at home, and everyone knows if you're traveling all the time, you don't sleep well, you eat a lot of unhealthy food, probably stay up too late, all of those bad habits are things he wanted to take a break from and live a healthier life. Well, let's us take a break, not from a bad habit, from our interesting article. But then we'll be back with more about Ed Sheeran.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。Ed Sheeran 结束为期2年的世界巡演之后，他决定休息一阵子，因为他觉得持续的这个巡回演出对他身心健康造成伤害。那课文单字 constant 就是用来形容经常的、持续不断的。那么 harm 在这里是当动词，表示伤害、危害。那在巡演之后，这个长假期间 ，Ed Sheeran 他当爸爸嘞，他的女儿是在去年8月出生的。那么他的新单曲 Bad Habits 就谈到他在巡回演出时过着不健康的生活形态，还有呢，女儿出生后他在生活中所做的一些积极改变。刚刚 Mike 老师说，孩子在疫情期间出生，爸妈正好有很多时间可以好好练习包尿布啊，怎么照顾孩子。这时候老师用到 diaper。diaper diaper 就是尿布哦，还有 pandemic， 过去这1-2年我们很熟悉这个字 pandemic pandemic 它可以当名词表示这个大流行病，也可以当形容词来形容这个疾病是大规模流行的。那我们接着回到课文中。
Though fatherhood has had a major influence on Sheeran, it hasn't affected his love for music. He still spends a lot of time making new music, and he uses a simple test to write hits. He listens to a song repeatedly to make sure he doesn't get tired of it. Sheeran's passion for music can also be seen in his charity work. In 2019, he founded an organization that helps hopeful young musicians achieve their dreams. It seems Sheeran's success has pushed him to focus on the next generation, both in his work and in his personal life.
All right, so Ed Sheeran, he's got a new album, a new baby, a new look on life, new good habits. Everything is changing and becoming better for him. And let's talk about fatherhood. That's right, we learned that last August in 2020, he had his first baby, Lyra. Well, his wife had the baby, but he's a dad as well. It says, though fatherhood has had a major influence on Sheeran, it hasn't affected his love for music. Well, that's good to know. I'm sure his fans are happy about that. It's changed him as a person, but it hasn't made him kind of go, oh, I don't really like playing guitar. I just want to play with my baby. No, he still loves music just as much. It's just some of the things that he might be singing about will change, and that's natural.
That's right. He still spends a lot of time making new music, and he uses a simple test to write hits. He listens to a song repeatedly to make sure he doesn't get tired of it. Okay, so I guess if something is a hit, then everybody wants to listen to it all the time, and it'll be really popular, it's on the radio, it's at every store. So if he's sick of it, then the audience will be sick of it too. So he'll write it, and then he'll just listen to it all day, and if he still likes it, then it will be a hit. That's pretty smart.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
For sure. If you're tired of your own song after one day, maybe other people will be tired of your song too. So that's a good way to make sure that you're writing hits or very popular songs. Let's talk about this verb affect. We're talking about how being a father is affecting him in different ways. To affect something, this verb means to make a change, to cause some kind of a change. We also have the word effect, E-F-F-E-C-T. That's the noun form. That is the change. So when something is affected, when something is changed, there will be an effect, E-F-F. There will be a change. But affect is the verb, okay? For example, he explained how the government's new policy will affect small businesses. We could also say he will explain the effects the government's new policy will have. They're basically the cause and then the result. Let's get back to the article. It says Sheeran's passion for music can also be seen in his charity work. Wow, he's so busy, but he still has time to do some great work for other people who need a bit of help. That's basically charity work. So what kind of charity work is he doing?
In 2019, he founded an organization that helps hopeful young musicians achieve their dreams. So I guess he's doing that because once upon a time, he was also a hopeful young musician who wanted to achieve his dreams. So now he wants to help others like himself. It seems Sharon's success has pushed him to focus on the next generation. So that's the kids that are nowadays maybe 20 or 14 or 15, both in his work and in his personal life. So he's becoming very inspired to help people who are younger and who have the same dreams and goals as he did when he was younger.
That's right. Both young musicians through his charity and also his daughter through being a dad.
Yeah.
That's also the next generation. But all of this leaves us feeling hopeful, and he's also hopeful. And the musicians that his charity works with are hopeful too, because they're full of hope. When you're hopeful, you have good feelings about the future. You think things are going to be great, even if they're a little difficult now, and I'm facing some troubles. I know everything will get better tomorrow, next week, next year. I'm full of hope. I'm hopeful. Maria, for example, Maria is hopeful that everything will be fine. She's not sitting around going, oh no, this is terrible, we're all in trouble. No, she thinks that everything is going to be fine. She's hopeful, and I'm hopeful that she will achieve her goals.
Yes, and when you achieve something, that means you've done it. You've reached your goal. Finally, maybe you had to work very hard, but then you have an achievement, and that makes you feel really great because you succeeded. After struggling for many years, Damien achieved success. So he had to try all the time and all the time over the years, and sometimes he failed, but then many years later, it worked out for him. So I'm happy for him and also for Ed Sheeran, who's very successful and continuing to do that and to help others too.
That's right. We hope good things happen for him, and I'm sure his new album will produce lots of great hits. Here's our What Do You Think question right before we wrap things up. What is your opinion of Ed Sheeran's music? If you haven't heard his music, would you be interested in listening to it?
I think his music is really, really good as a pop song, which means that it's so catchy and it manages to get in your head all the time. And a lot of people do covers, so they would sing Ed Sheeran's song, and I have some friends who made their own dances to The Shape of You, and the choreograph is really good. So I think he's really successful as a pop artist, and I would listen to his music because I actually don't dislike it. For some pop songs, I'll listen to it a few times and I get sick of it, but for Ed Sheeran's song, every time I listen to it, it still gets me pretty excited. How about you?
I'm definitely a fan, and I'm interested in hearing what is going to be on his new album, as are his millions of fans around the world, and I'm sure some of you guys out there include yourself in that group. Well, thanks for joining us. We look forward to seeing you more in the future with some great articles, so come on back for those. Until then, be well, take care, and bye-bye.
Bye.
成为父亲并没有影响到 Ed Sheeran 对音乐的热爱，他还是会花很多时间来创作新音乐，而且呢，他用一个简单的测试方法来写热门歌曲，也就是呢，反复的一直听一首歌来确保不会感到厌倦。如果连他自己都听腻了，那歌迷们可能也会听到腻嘛。那么文章最后提到说 ，Ed Sheeran 在2019年成立了一个组织，来帮助怀抱希望的年轻音乐人实现他们的梦想。那他的成功似乎让他把关注放在下一个世代了。好，我们来看3个单字 ，affect。Affect 它是个动词，表示影响。那么 hopeful 它是形容充满希望的，抱持希望的。那么 achieve 这个动词是指达成、实现。Rainbow 老师刚刚聊到说，他有一些朋友呢会用 Ed Sheeran 的歌来编舞。老师用到 choreography 这个字，是拼作 choreography， 那这个字表示编舞或是舞蹈设计的意思。这个段落3个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，来看第一个重点是 spend， 它表示花费、耗费，像是花费时间啊，或是金钱等等，常常用人来当主词。那动词3态是 spend、spent。好，我们来看它的用法是 spend 加上时间或是金钱，再加上动词 ing。这个动词 ing 你也可以把它换成 on 加上名词。举例来说 ，Tim spent the whole afternoon cleaning up his room. Tim 花了一整个下午来整理房间。那么第2个重点是 get tired of 加上名词或动名词，表示对什么感到厌烦。那么 tired 在这边它表示厌倦的、厌烦的，像是 I'll never get tired of this song. 这首歌啊，我永远都听不腻。那比较一个用法，当我们说 get tired 或者是 be tired from 加上名词或动名词，则是指因为什么而感到疲惫、疲劳，像是 They were tired from the long walk. 他们因为走了很长一段路，感到很疲惫。第3个重点是 seem 当连缀动词，它表示似乎好像。那么以下介绍2种句型。第一种你可以用 it seems 加上 that 主词加动词，那这个 that 是可以省略的。例如 It seems that everyone has a smartphone these days. 如今啊，似乎每个人都有一只智慧型手机。那第2个用法，你可以用 seem to 加原形动词。当你描述的动作是更早发生的话，这个 to be 要改成 to have 加上过去分词 pp 去表达这个动作或是事情已经完成。例如 They seem to have settled their differences. 他们似乎已经化解了彼此之间的分歧了。好，以上是今天的讲解，同学们别走开，马上回来哦。
Sheeran's long break allowed him and his wife to prepare for the arrival of their first child, Lyra, who was born in August 2020. Sheeran welcomed fatherhood as well as the time off from performing, as he felt that constant touring had harmed his physical and mental health. Indeed, his latest single, Bad Habits, speaks to the unhealthy lifestyle he led while on tour. The song is about the positive changes that Sheeran has made in his life since the birth of his daughter, including eating healthier foods and exercising more regularly. Though fatherhood has had a major influence on Sheeran, it hasn't affected his love for music. He still spends a lot of time making new music, and he uses a simple test to write hits. He listens to a song repeatedly to make sure he doesn't get tired of it. Sheeran's passion for music can also be seen in his charity work. In 2019, he founded an organization that helps hopeful young musicians achieve their dreams. It seems Sheeran's success has pushed him to focus on the next generation, both in his work and in his personal life.
Hey everyone, I'm Kim.
Hey everybody, I'm Shane.
We're gonna play a game called Word Drop where we each have words from your lesson and we're gonna drop them into our conversation as casually as possible. And you're gonna start.
Oh, I'm starting. Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm not scared. Okay. Whoa, this way. Okay. So, I think that as members of society, we want to change the world and we want to make the world a better place. And I think if we want to achieve that, we need to get a good education.
Wow, that's pretty
Pretty what?
that's very positive. I like your attitude.
A positive guy.
That's pretty good. You know, I think that you're right, but I also feel like if I can just wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee, nobody's asking anything from me, I can just kind of do what I want, and that makes me feel hopeful for my happy future.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand what you mean, like trying to achieve a lot and studying and trying to make yourself a better person. You can get tired of that.
Yes, you can.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes you just
Tired.
want to chill. You don't want to save the world. I mean, do I look like Superman?
Superwoman?
Okay, well,
Wonder Woman?
maybe in some ways,
Yeah.
but I'm not. So I think this attitude where
You should have more confidence in yourself.
maybe.
Yeah.
But I think trying to change the world too much and have too much ambition, maybe it does more harm than good. Maybe it can harm you.
Yes. Yeah, you need to really be careful, just in life in general. When we're trying to chase after dreams, or if we just want to be lazy, everything that you would do can affect other people, so we still need to be careful
That's true.
how we live our lives.
And I'm still gonna go back to just chilling and living my life the way I want because I don't need that constant pressure.
You know what? You do you.
And you do you.
All right, high five.
See you next time.